Chong and LELNESSN. Yes, we are the very best. $7 popping collars, eating shrimp, $5 met some girls from Guatemala, now they trying to holler. Now before they wouldn't bother, now I'm trying to be a scholar, cause she giving all the knowledge to me. Knowledge to me. Doing homework every night of the week. Night of the week. Plus she chilling up at college with me. College with me, but we cruising, man. Rolling up at 4:30. Kush same color as a Kobe Road jersey, or a throwback worthy. Giraffe ass high, fresh breeze just passing us by. Cause I'm cruising on a Sunday afternoon. I got my good shoes on, ain't got no bad news. Here's what you say to the lady. Let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you, oh, let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you. Why? Cause I don't wanna leave this party, baby, without you. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. Okay. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. So I arrive at a party at 9. I reside beside Sim, pick on the fly, time's on our side. But look again, then it's 11 p.m. Chalk it on the board, time to sin, let's begin. Hey, you're kinda cute, and I got the loot to befriend both you and your girlfriend too.
You single, Tim Jones?
Well, that depends. Just then she turned to a friend and she said, I really like him. Say word. I really like him. Oh yeah. I really like him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with you once again. As in always, it's our pleasure to come to you and offer our concepts on certain issues, and we hope that you appreciate it as much as we appreciate bringing you our concepts. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to continue to enjoy not only this evening, but the rest of your week, and take some of these thoughts with you and actually add on to them. And if you can, just send us a note every now and then via text to the number at the end of this show, or via the email addresses discussed during the course of the show. We look forward to hearing from you and hopefully bringing you some of the topics that you would like to see addressed. With that being said, we're going to go into this evening's presentation, and we hope you enjoy it.
The gang leader, formerly known as A-Train, continues to maintain his innocence despite insurmountable evidence against him.
This man may be a lot of things, but I'm telling you, he's not a liar.
You better be right about this, Monty. I just need to ask you one question. Did you rob that convenience store and kill that little girl and that cashier?
You already got it.
I should be out there.
You are right where you need to be to hear from God. Don't allow your past to defeat you. See how there was a distraction from being a father to your son. Aaron, he's selling drugs, just like his father used to.
All we do is sell a little weed. Right?
Boy, you know you hear me talking to you.
Yeah, Ma. Got you a little something. I think this is the piece of evidence we've needed. Let's go get him out of there.
I've never even heard my father speak.
I've never seen you here before.
My grandma works here. It looked like I may have a good reason to come back a little bit more often.
If I get out, will I have a place to come to?
Over your life today. Everything has a seed. And if you plant trouble, trouble's what you're gonna get back.
Now, if you don't have that money by tomorrow,
He wants to be a father to his son.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you just enjoyed that trailer from the film Never Heard. We were blessed enough to be at the Connecticut premiere. They also premiered the night before in LA, and then it went throughout the nation on the same time it came to Connecticut.
Yeah.
And Joe was down there doing his thing, doing interviews and so forth as usual. And today we have a special guest to my far left, your far right out there in TV land, Rome out of New York.
Yeah, Mount Vernon, New York.
Mount Vernon, New York.
Uh-huh.
And he's featured on one of the tracks from the soundtrack.
This is correct.
Welcome to JCT
What's going
TV.
on, man? How you feeling?
Good, good.
All right.
All right, Joe, I know that you was on radio the other night, and you actually mentioned the fact that this was definitely a motivator, faith film that was a tearjerker as well, right?
Yeah, it brought out a lot of emotions. I mean, it covered a wide range of feelings and issues. Highly recommended.
And Rome, this is your first time being featured on a A-level film.
That is correct.
On the soundtrack.
That is correct.
Let me ask you this: emotion-wise, how does that feel?
It feels great.
Accomplishment-wise.
Top of the list right now.
Outstanding.
Top
so
of
let
the
me
list.
ask you this: have you performed since you've been made aware of the fact that you actually made an A-list film?
I haven't performed yet, no.
So you're going to get that opportunity today.
That works. That absolutely
so you can
works.
tell us next time how it felt performing afterwards, because all success, right, is levels, right? And you have the A level all the way to the Z level, right? And we mostly only focus on the entertainment arena, A through C. Sometimes we'll say D, but D is like really affecting someone's career, more or less. And today's topic is superconfidence and entitlement. Joe covered that the other evening on radio, so I'm going to toss it in his lap to open it up, and then I'll come back with my 2 cents, and I'll see also what Rome has to say on the issue.
Yeah, good. When I think of superconfidence, start with superconfidence. To me, the term superconfidence, I have to go to the source, because we, as fallen human beings, I think our confidence just can't be the highest level of confidence. We just don't have that ability. So we can talk about superconfidence on our fallen level, and we can look at each other and judge each other or gauge each other in levels of confidence, and we can say this person has a superconfidence relative to all the other people. But when we're talking about ultimate superconfidence, which I think all of us would really aspire to, I think it has to be connected to the source, which is God. And entitlement, I talked about this the other night, and I was thinking about it later, and I was wondering, was that actually 100% correct? Entitlement, if we are one with God, if we don't have any of this fallen nature that we've inherited and all this kind of stuff, what are we entitled to? And I think at this point, the way it stands now, we are entitled to the love of our Father, our heavenly parent. We are entitled to the love of our physical parents. We're entitled to that as children. As far as anything else goes, I don't know how entitled we are in reality or in truth to much of anything else in the truest sense. That's a topic for discussion.
Outstanding, outstanding. Rome.
Yes, sir.
You heard the topic. You heard my intro.
Right.
You heard Joe go in on this degree. How do you feel about the subject matter?
Well, I feel like superconfidence that's necessary to get ahead, but there's a very thin line between superconfidence and too much of an ego.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to maintain that balance of confidence and humility at the same time, So superconfidence could be a gift and a curse. Because a lot of people don't like someone that's very confident.
Okay.
Because it comes across as arrogance
Yes.
initially.
Right.
So I try to, just maintain that same level head.
Okay.
And that's just me personally. Okay. And as far as entitlement goes, I feel like the only things we're really entitled to are our natural rights as human beings. Everything else you have to work for, if you ask me. At least that's the cloth that I'm cut from. Indeed. I had to work for everything that I came across. It wasn't nothing given to me.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
I like
Yeah, you have to qualify. I use that term.
That term I like. Qualify ties in almost as a synonym with entitlement to some degree. Right? Because all of life's essence, especially when we speak about success, is a higher and lower degree of one and the same thing. And that's conquest. You understand? To achieve and to acquisition. Right? when we talk about superconfidence, we have to talk about the different levels of the mind, right? You have the conscious, which is what's visible and seen, that which is almost tangible, right? And then you have the subconscious, that intangible factor.
Right.
You know, there are so many cells that it actually creates the figure 1, and it is over 15 billion, right, actual cells in there that accumulates and manifests the mind within the realm of the brain.
Right.
Because the mind is everywhere existing in your body because it's the air that you breathe. A lot of people don't understand that. They try to attempt to tangibilize the mind as being the brain.
Yeah.
No, but the mind is in your heart, and the mind is in all of your molecular cells and so forth, because that's what keeps everything generating. The heart actually pumps the blood that actually circulates and communicates with everything.
True.
When you start talking about a computer, you start talking about the CPU, the motherboard, and all those other elements. It's configured off of your state of being as a human being, right? But the thing is that you have the subconscious level of the mind, which is so great that it can manifest anything into reality in your life and in your world that you so desire if you manipulate and utilize it properly. But there's an even greater state than that. It's the superconscious. And every individual, in contrast and against the hypocrisy that is taught that you are not entitled to your true life's worth. You are entitled to everything that your father has. And your father, being the grand architect of the universe, entitles you to be Superman, Superwoman, to be that super being. You're entitled to that. And that's where entitlement plays its role into this right here. In order to achieve, as you said, greatness, you have to think greatness. You have to be in that super level. So you must do that. And as you said, it is a delicate balance. Yes. Humbleness or humility, right? And your superconfidence.
Right.
Through superconfidence, you won't only remain at the level that you are now, having one track on an A-list soundtrack. You will go on to be a household name if you maintain and elevate and escalate and cultivate your superconfidence.
Exactly.
But you have to do that, and you have to stop thinking down. There is no can't, don't, and won't in the kingdom of God. That exists in Satan's realm.
True.
You must believe that you can do anything. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have what you want to have in order to acquisition these factors. But with that being said, I'm going to toss this back over to you, gentlemen.
I felt that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like that a lot. I feel inspired all of a sudden.
No, I like where you took that, because remember I said that, maybe we're not entitled to anything really in this fallen state, but that's a matter of discussion. And I love where you took that, because you're absolutely right. It's very true. And I have thought about that because you brought it up before as being true. So, yeah, we have to go beyond our fallen state. We have to actually believe. Connecting with God is believing in what we have as human beings. We have that gift that he gave us. All we have to do is be aware of it, connect with it, and use it.
Exactly.
And not to cut you off, but that entitlement, that inherent power that we actually gain from our grand architect of the universe, our supreme father, it gives us the power, as he said, let there be light, and there was light. Let there be cattle, there was cattle, that you can say, let there be anything I want in my life. You understand?
It's true. It's true.
Exactly
let
true.
there be.
Exactly.
You have that inherent
If you
power.
stay focused, it'll come to pass.
Entitlement.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you to look at entitlement any further as a negative term.
Right.
I want you to look at it as a positive term.
Right.
And focus your life accordingly and restructure your life.
That's
You
deeper than
understand?
rap. That's deeper than rap.
There you
I
go.
support it.
Indeed.
Yeah, man.
Joe, you want to say anything in closing? We got about 30 seconds here before we jump over to some coverage from the red carpet event for the premiere of the film, as well as a performance from one of these sensational artists today.
No, I just wanted to add that the term entitlement, I think I mentioned on the radio that it has a negative connotation. But now you've brought the positive understanding to light, and it's really good to have that.
Indeed.
Very true.
We all should only seek the positive, as I always say. You don't have to focus on destroying the negative if you just simply focus on the positive. The negativity has no place in your life, so therefore when it comes, you will repel it. That's that shield of righteousness that they talk about in Ephesians chapter 6.
Right.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into a performance, as I said, from one of these sensational artists, as well as some coverage from the red carpet premiere of Never Heard. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's your boy Rome, man. We back with another one.
It's your boy JC.
Yeah. Look, you ever hear the saying that everybody has a rough in their own little ways? Everybody has a tough. Well, I don't really want to hear it. If you can't relate, I really can't feel it. Imagine having high hopes to the ceiling while you waiting for your pops, but he makes no appearance. Right there, that's the difference between me and many people. Have you met plenty people looking for that love that your father couldn't bring you? Mom's made me a junior. How the hell I'm the sequel? Just knowing you a deadbeat, and I'm never gonna see you. Twisting and turning, Usher's confessions, the way my soul burning. Twisting this herb, I'm smoking and drinking my life away hurting. Playing the block, hand-to-hand pitching, cause that's how I earned it. Closing the curtain and burning your cake because you're not a person.
You were supposed to be my hero, but you weren't there. No. You were supposed to be my hero, but you were walking there. See, any man can be a father, but that don't make him dead. Nah. And if you're not the king, how could I even be a prince?
How can I?
No heroes here at all.
You're not a king, can I be a prince? Martin Luther didn't dream this. I couldn't wait for a scene switch. Palm trees with a green grip. See, I'm grown, you ain't see shit. Foul mouth with a clean whip. A mini-me, yeah, she's 6, getting great grades. Who would ever think this? Calling into the green script. You can call me Willie Beeman. How I ran with the Sharks. Blessed I ain't sneezing. Different shoes for the season. I ain't playing in the park. Talking to a man now. Used to think I was man down. Thought my whole life was over. Hope you understand now. Got my life living grand now. But before I was steaming. Thinking how Romy gon' make up this way. Now it's the morning I'm linking with Sway. Probably right after that linking with Bay. Got a full calendar linking the days. Came up out of that flipping the page. Not only a book but a movie's my way. Thanking the Lord I ain't built in your way. Make sure my daughter stay seeing my face.
You were supposed to be my hero, but you weren't there. You weren't there, no. You were supposed to be my hero, be my hero. You were walking there. See, any man can be a father, but that don't make him dead. No, no, no. And if you're
Fathers out here, it's not really fathers. Take pride in being a father. Just because certain situations may seem it's gonna be that way, but it ain't gonna be that way.
Not at all.
It depends on you though.
It's a mental thing.
Fatherless, motherless,
Sisterless.
brotherless, sisterless.
Never
Just don't lose your
sense.
sense.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Dave Edwards. We're at the premiere of Never Heard, the movie. And I want to ask Dave, for them out there, what's your role in this?
Actually, I am the president of Raise 'em Up Records, who has the privilege of putting out the soundtrack for this amazing film directed by Josh Weber called Never Heard. Awesome film, awesome film.
Okay. Now, when we hear Never Heard, the term Never Heard,
yes,
it's kind of hard to picture what it's about. So can you give just a brief synopsis?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much about the movie. I don't want to give away nothing about the movie, but it's actually used in several ways in this movie. But I'll give you one of my views on what I saw. Never Heard, the gentleman who plays the son, who is Romeo, little Romeo in the film, he's talking about how he's never heard a direction from his father. He grew up not knowing his father. His father is in prison, and he never got direction, on how to be a man. Oh, wow. So he's never heard direction from his father.
Interesting. How would you say the theme or some content of the movie relates to the idea of truth, like an absolute sense of truth?
Oh, and that's another part of the movie. This is a faith-based movie, so a lot of people go through life not listening to God, and that's another meaning of the word never heard, but the phrase never heard.
Oh, that's
it's talking
good.
about how a lot of people don't listen to God, or they say they never heard from God. It's because they don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, God is constantly talking to us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he's always there, always
there,
around,
always
but
there.
we
Yes.
have to tune in.
Yes, exactly,
So,
exactly.
You're expecting, I'm sure, a pretty good turnout tonight. Do you have any idea of the what's the term I'm looking for? The general range of people that are going to show up?
Actually, we are excited because we are sold out tonight. We're sold out.
Oh, nice.
Every seat
Nice.
is taken, so you'll have to wait for the next event.
Okay.
Yes.
And in terms of the musical score that your
Yes.
company did, how does it relate to the last one you did?
Oh, this one, once again, we've been blessed to have some dynamic people on this. We have Jacqueline Carr, we have Little Romeo that's going to be on it, we have Lecrae, who's a Christian rap artist, we have, there's so many people on this thing, it's just amazing.
So you're basically, I mean, the movie is trying to get a message out.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are a few messages involved
Yes,
in this.
definitely.
And did you guys, as far as the music goes, did you use music to support the themes?
Oh yeah, definitely. A couple of songs that's on the soundtrack are actually in the movie.
Okay.
And if you know anything about scoring, what you try to do is you try to match the feel of the movie with the music.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done with the music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So this soundtrack is awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
Welcome back. We're sitting here at the round table, and it's an amazing event, you know, that we're here with. We have Rome with us in the place, and absolutely Joe Carroll. And the topic we're talking about today is superconfidence and entitlement. And as we've been talking about this topic, for myself, when I talk about being super confident, first and foremost, spiritually getting ourselves spiritually in tune with being confident in who God has created us to be. When he said never be proud, but be confident in who we are and who He's created us to be. He's created us great, but that's not a boasting great. That's a greatness that know that the Creator has all things within us. And He said, if I created you in my image and my likeness, so that means you have greatness in you. So to be confident in that greatness that He's created us to be, that's super spiritual, not necessarily natural, but it can form into the natural because we can do all things. So, and then going into being entitlement. When we talked about the title, we talked about entitlement on the show, on the radio. We are entitled to great things. We're entitled to being everything that we were created to be once again, because God has given us that entitlement within our lives. We're entitled to all the goodness that God has for us. So to be confident and to know that we're entitled to some things, and some of the things we may have not seen yet, but we're still entitled to see those things. So that's where, you know, it kind of hit me at when we're talking about being entitled, and which led to the project. You were entitled to be a part of this project, and you were confident when you got involved with it. You said, "Listen, I'm confident that I can come in and I can do whatever I need to do to make this project and this song a success." So, Joe,
you just made me think of something regarding entitlement, because entitlement includes the word title, and
Absolutely.
To entitle someone is to give them a title. But in order to get a title, you have to qualify. And we just talked about this a few minutes ago. And he qualified, right? So that's why you said he was entitled to that, to perform in the soundtrack. In the movie, I was thinking of these words in terms of the characters in the movie, never heard. And the one in my mind that stood out that had the super confidence was the grandmother. She was like so faithful. Her faith was so strong. She said, absolutely, you're going to get out of prison, you know, and he did. Other levels of confidence showed in the movie. I think the girl and Romeo had a certain level of confidence. His friend lacked confidence. He was being manipulated by the environment and circumstances. And entitlement in the movie, I can't think of anything offhand, but basically that's what I wanted to say about, and to be entitled to something, you have to qualify for it.
Right.
You have to earn it. And the only thing we're entitled to where we don't have to earn is, like you said, we are God's children. We are entitled to his love and everything that he had hopes for us to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. I like the flip that you guys put on the word entitlement, because, like previously said, it does more times than others have a negative connotation towards it. But now thinking about the way you're breaking it down and where you're coming from, it's deep in a rap. Like I said before, I like it. Really switched up my whole thinking just that quick.
Right. And the thing is, there's always a positive, negative to everything, and it's how you look at it and perceive it, and you utilize it in your life. You're right. You can use those words, good or evil, and it's what you utilize those to make your life and the lives of people that are around you. Like Joe said in this movie, David Banner had a situation to where he was incarcerated for a lot of years, based upon maybe some of the lifestyle he led that got him in a situation. But he was innocent from that situation. But you can take a bad situation and you can flip it and turn it into something good. Our past, our lives, and things that we've been through are experiences that will say, listen, I know that maybe things in my past didn't lead me to a right place, but now I'm confident that I know that if I turn my mentality around, that my life will end up in a different place. So and with the movie, and even with the soundtrack, when God gave me all the songs, and even before you got on the project, the song was already kind of formed, and I said, well, who could we get that would be confident enough and what deserves the title to be on this particular track? And Dave and myself alluded that Rome. We came out and saw you perform. We saw that what you were confident. You weren't boastful, but you were confident in what you believe as your gift that you have. So that entitled you to get a position and a spot on this project. So even with that, even with the project as a whole, and us getting this project, and how I truly believe when I reached out to Josh Weber and said, Josh, listen, I would love to be a part of this. I was confident that there was an opportunity that I could get this, and I believed that. And yes, we got it. And then even in the midst of that, when things kind of flipped and it looked like we weren't going to have it after getting it, I said, listen, I'm still confident in God that what he has for us on this project will be. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, it flipped back around and the project flipped back into our hands. Mm-hmm. So, because we were entitled to this. Before we even knew it, God said that at this point in time, we will be doing this project and where we will be headed. And now we in the process of the release of the soundtrack and the movie through video on demand and through DVD. So we were entitled even before, because God already set us up before we were born, that we would be here doing this particular project. We may have not known it until we got here. Right. And now that we're here, we say, oh my goodness, God, this is another thing that you had for me in my life. So know that, like you said, we were qualified to be here. Yes. Because God prepared us. He prepared you with your gift and your skill for such a time when we met you at a showcase about a year or so ago.
That was about a year ago.
You know what I'm saying? So here we are a year later, sitting here on this great show, talking about being super confident, not being boastful, but being super confident that I'm entitled to be here because I qualified through my trials, my tribulations, and everything that I've encountered, that I'm entitled to be here today.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was just thinking about. If we have the confidence that what we're going through on a daily basis, whether it be good or bad, even extreme bad, if we have the confidence that it's God guiding us and giving us the opportunity to grow, then we can have the confidence that we are entitled to the next step. So we can live life in a confident state, a very confident state. because we have connected ourselves with God. We trust in our Father to give us what we need. You know, so even in the movie, like David Banner's character, you said that his previous life, he didn't go in a good direction. So while he was innocent of the charge that landed him in prison, still maybe that stint in prison kind of was good.
Absolutely.
It was something good for him.
Absolutely.
It paid a little bit of the debt off for his previous mistakes or whatever.
And so powerful because it showed while he was in prison when Dorian Gates, who didn't have that relationship with his daughter, entered into that prison. If he wasn't in that prison, the men that were in that prison wouldn't have gotten the things that they gotten from Mr. Gates and David Banner with their relationship and bringing them together to realize. And at the end, here are inmates now realizing that I have a greater purpose because I'm entitled to the things that God is going through, but it's what you come out with. And we come out with something that's going to make us better as people. You're walking in that path. See, a lot of people look at the bad situation and say, oh, my God, I've been through this, I've been through that. But it's to build you, to make you who you become.
Right.
It's all about character.
Yeah.
And without confidence, you're bound to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to. So just have to make sure that you're headstrong and you're ready to make that move.
Absolutely.
And keep your spirits up.
So we're about to head over to Ken's Corner and give you some more coverage from the red carpet of Never Heard on the first one we had it. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ken's Corner. And listen, I'm so excited for the Never Heard motion picture soundtrack. I have another awesome, amazing artist that's on this particular project and a feature. We have Mike Flowers with us. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Glad to be here, man.
Pleasure to be. And we have Pyro Track.
Thank you. How you doing, brother?
Good to have you as well, my good man.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Mike, we've been working together for a while
now.
And as we come to this project here with Never Heard, you probably were one of the first people that I talked to in regards to this project.
Yeah.
And automatically, I said, Mike, you be the man to come up with something that would correlate with the movie's concept. Tell me, what did you do to come up with the concept, made it out, Never Heard?
Actually, it was pretty simple. I mean, my mindset went back into history, and that's why I called up my brother Pyro Tracks, because we're from Truman High School. And our first year in school, we definitely knew what it was to be in the inner city and people doing crime and doing crazy stuff. And we was like, wow, this is going to be authentic if we do this, work. So I was like, I went to an authentic place in my life, and I was like, you know what, I need some authentic variables that knew what it was to be down, what it is to experience poverty and all of that. And my boy Pyro was there, and that's what really started it out.
Wow. Right. And I have to say, an amazing job when you came with that intro.
Thank you.
Where did that come from? A place, because you hit the topic. You hadn't seen the movie or the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer of the movie.
So how did you come from that place, being able to incorporate what was really dealing with the film? Mr. Banner was going through the situations, kind of like you were relating from the song without you even seeing it. So tell me, how did you come about that?
Well, the facts were, when he sent the song, what I usually do is I just listen to it and I try to get the feeling of what Mike might have been feeling. We didn't talk about it, but exactly as he said is what I felt. But at the same time, going back into those times of high school, I was moving around a lot. You're trying to make it out,
right?
And usually people don't hear. Right. They don't get to hear that story behind the scenes. Right. So us coming together and having my side and his side made it correlate very well. And it was just it's the vibes. You don't really know, you just feel it.
Right. And like, because it's crazy. Like I said, I gave you the trailer.
Yeah.
And you summed up the whole movie in that song, and then incorporating his brother with the lyrics. He came in. We just thank you guys both for coming on, and we're looking forward to hearing your song on the Never Heard soundtrack and you performing it here.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Definitely.
Thank you. A little shout out here on what you thought of the film today.
We thought the film was great. It really struck home for fathers to learn a lot, and I think our black fathers really need to learn on this type of film.
On that note, I want to give Malik Williams a great big ups because he's facilitator of Fatherhood Initiative Program, and I know that he's sensational, and I know that those are the type of programs that we need in the community. What did you think of the film?
I thought it was awesome. It was awesome. Yes.
Tell me one thing, if any, that you can say that either of you got from that film that you're taking with you.
Be a better father to my son.
Wow.
And my grandson.
Because we can always do better.
We can always do better.
Wow. And you?
And for me, forgiveness, because that's what it was all about. If you don't forgive and you hold that in you, go any place. So that was good.
It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. Bitterness hurts. Yeah. It hurts worse than forgiveness.
Yeah.
And once we are able to kneel down and just forgive, then we begin to live life and see it totally different. All that darkness is removed and we see the light.
Yes.
Because it's beautiful days ahead of us, and there's beautiful days out there, but everybody walk around like this is the end, and they feel so bad about it, and we can't do that.
No, change can happen.
Indeed.
I know for a fact. Change can happen.
But that picture hit home. It was like so real, like somebody really experienced something, because I know. You understand?
I know, too. That
we have to remember that we all fall short. None of us are perfect, so forgiving is a good thing,
Indeed.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
And it starts with the heads. Once the heads forgive, then the children will fall right in line.
Men need to know that you never did too much or do too much wrong that you can't be forgiven by God.
That's right. And to love those children and love our spouse like there is no tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the greatest thing that we can do.
Praise God. Thank you, brother.
Praise God. Good night. Good night.
Yes. Let me ask you something. What did you think of the film?
I absolutely love the film. I love that it was faith-based.
Okay.
A lot of inspirational messages, especially for our young people.
Okay.
Like, I really feel like if young people off the street come in and hear this, it really touched the hearts of just everyday issues, especially like being fatherless, being motherless. That's so important to hear, and we need those messages every day. So this is really great.
It's been an amazing journey thus far on the show today, and we're honored to have Rome from the Never Heard Motion Picture Soundtrack.
Me. Appreciate you guys.
It's an amazing thing. We're gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna go into something that gives us some balance. We go into something called Good to Go, No Go, where we actually get an opportunity to critique and give confidence to the people that have submitted songs to this particular segment of the show, as we leave out on the note of Superconfidence and Entitlement, I just want to get you guys a minute of what you guys would close out with the people out there, and what you guys would say in regards to this topic we have today.
Yeah, it's funny. You can talk all you want, and you can give definitions of words and discuss them and stuff like that. But what I got out of this was, and also doing the radio, was by talking about these terms and now being around people and hearing the way they interpret them and seeing how they live these terms, it's more than just talking. Like, I'm getting a really good vibe from the confidence level in Rome over here. It's affecting me, and I always have this I just love Ken for what he gives to me. So little by little, they're rubbing off on me. And I think that's how you can really grow, utilizing words like this. So I always say, find words, discuss them with others that you know, even if they're your enemy. Discuss them, go over them, and you'll learn, you'll grow, you'll change as human beings, and for the better.
I all the way agree. But high confidence, high spirits, increased spirituality, all equals success.
Absolutely.
That's what I got out of everything. And the negative connotation of entitlement, just re-switch the you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you guys are spot on. And even for myself, first thing is to spiritually get yourself in tune with the Creator. And when you get spiritually in tune with Him, you will be able to have the confidence that you need to go out into the world and do what you need to do because you're entitled to it. Because not because we say so, it's because He says so.
Exactly.
God says we're entitled to some things. When we put Him first, He says, "Seek ye the kingdom of God, all His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto thee." So, as long as we keep our Creator before us and put Him before, we can be super confident spiritually that naturally when we go out there into the world, they will see the glory of God in our lives, and they will be able to know what they're entitled to. So we're gonna go over into what we love to do is good to go, no go, and we love having Rome on the show because he's an artist and he gets to really get to talk about other artists and give him feedback as an artist.
Most definitely.
The first song is J New from New Jersey.
Hey Keisha, pick up, baby. How you just gonna walk out and leave me like that? After all these years? You don't need a ring to be my wife, but you know what? You could get that though.
It will kill her to go through the disappointment again. The year started and it's ending the same. I could see the tears rolling cause you wanna stay when you're sick of playing house with me. Yeah. So my heart's wide open if you wanna come in and please, baby, just come out of the rain.
Out of the rain, baby.
Did you pour right or wrong? We've been down so long. Hell, baby, you deserve this rain.
Hey, this where I used to rent cars like wow. I'm a rock star, drop top cars right now. Agents, paparazzi taking shots right now. A-list, getting in the clubs before they let the crowd. Payments, 7 digits, bank teller like wow. Amazement, staring at the stud nigga like how crazy. Many friends I never had like now. Maybe, no, I'm sure it's cause I'm hot right now. Lately, I've been thinking how I help myself.
Well, I'm gonna set it off so that Rome can see how we go about doing this. I'm going to start off right off the bat and give it a good to go. And the reason why I give it a good to go is, number one, the production was really good. The artist had content in what he was talking about. I really vibed off of it. I love his vocal tone. I love his style. He really wrote the music really well. Yes. So I give him a good to go.
I give him a good to go as well. Same exact things I was thinking of. The only thing that I was wondering about, and I'm not sure if it was just my ears, was in the very beginning, I felt like the vocal, I couldn't hear what he was saying. But I thought maybe that's just because we're listening to it in a room and on headphones it might be clearer. But overall, I loved the mix, the way it was done. And the music, I liked the music and the tone of his voice. I really liked that. I don't necessarily like when rappers speak. It has to have a quality in order to grab me, and he did. So I got a lot out of that, and the quality of the words, his message, I thought was good. So good to go.
I also give it a good to go. I like the beat. The beat is one of those. I felt like it was the summertime again. Put the windows down, blast it, catch a breeze to the face.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It made me feel good. Took me back to 2007 real quick.
Okay. Next artist is Hirsch from New York City.
Gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the Herd Show. It's the personality himself. Come on, y'all. Sing along. Come on, ladies. Fellas. Sing this to the ladies.
You're worth more than gold. You're worth more than the finest diamonds. But tell me, what does it all mean? If he ain't treating you right, you're always depressed, and you're hurting inside. It's not a beautiful sight to see a woman cry. You gotta step up on your game. Gotta leave that problem alone, 'cause you're better off on your own. It's not good for you. You gotta step up on your game.
us over to right to wrong.
That's a good to go. That's about as smooth as it gets, brother.
Okay.
It gave me a step in the name of love kind of feel.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
I like that. I like that a lot. Who was that? Hirsch from New York?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, talk about a feeling that it elicits. To me, that was Summertime right from the start. You know, he was talking about the previous one like that. And I thought of Summertime. Also, it reminded me, it had that feeling of songs from the, say, 60s or 50s even, you know. It had that feeling, but in 2018, you know. So, and overall, the sound was just beautiful. The production, I thought, the mix, I thought was excellent. You could hear the vocals. I loved his voice, too. I thought it was really good. The only thing I didn't like, and maybe it was just for this record, but I think for a commercial success, I would leave out the introduction where, hey, how's it, you know, where he introduces himself as the Hirsch Show and you hear the clapping and stuff like that. To me, that the way the song started, musically, that kind of brought me down a little bit when he did that. Then it brought me back up when the vocals came in, when he started singing. So overall, I give that a really good to go. But that was my objection, that one little part in the beginning.
I have to concur with the gentleman, both of the gentlemen. It was definitely a good to go right off the bat. The production quality was A1.
Yeah.
You can tell that they mixed and mastered it. They took the time to really go in with the production, the instrumentations, everything. You can hear everything crisp and clear. The vocalist also, he was right in the pocket as an artist. He wasn't out of pitch or out of sync. It was on. The chorus was really great. As well, I would have definitely, for a record on the radio, I would have came in quicker with the vocals instead of waiting long. But it could have been something for the album. That it could be he can have other songs that are singles. But overall, I love the song, and I think I give it a great to go. It was one of the best R&B feels I heard in a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very good.
Next up, we have Nakia Comfort from PA.
Don't know me, but you want to judge me? You want to tell me but not help me? Well, fuck you, cause I made it this far without you. Without your hugs and kisses, without your good luck, so baby, go break a leg. You gave me the love of a son that's dead. The middle child survived life through poetry. So you can love me or hate me, but believe me, you don't know me, cause I know I've been changed. I've been changed from a child to a boy to a man, and I'm still mentally corrupted from the lost love from a household who refused to understand my pain, sorrow, and loneliness of a child held contempt for his father acts. And God furries of the devil's advocate got me emotionally supercharged by God's sword. So now my poetry cuts souls apart, rivet the conscience of the heart. I make eyelids cry purple rain, Siamese twins the pain, scar guilty feelings upon your brain, cause you don't know me, and I know I've been changed.
I'm gonna start off with Josie Carroll on this one.
I'm a little confused on this one. I'm thinking Nakia is a woman, yet the song focused on a man.
Yeah, I was kind of lost in the sauce with that one, I'm not going to lie.
And as far as the content of the words, I think, you know, if he has gone from a boy to all the way up to a man, and he has love now, you don't say F you to somebody. You know, if you really love, you love. You love your friend, you love your enemy as well. You don't have that F you attitude.
Honestly speaking, that was more of a skit than a song.
Yeah,
if you ask me, I feel like it's more so like a skit in between songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. Musically, I didn't see anything really glaringly wrong with it, but I don't give that a good to go.
Yeah, I don't give it a go
No-go
either.
for me, yeah.
Yeah, I don't give it a go, neither.
Reasons?
Sounded like more of a skit. I was definitely kind of confused throughout the duration of it. The young lady sounded like she probably has a good set of vocals on her, but I can't really tell because the guy was overshadowing her with his talking.
I was waiting for her to come in.
Right, I thought he was going to stop eventually, and then she was going to take off and take it to the next level, but it just never happened.
Okay. I also have to agree with the gentleman for giving it a no-go. based upon, once again, you would think that it was geared towards her. Another thing with her vocals, she wasn't always in sync in the pocket to me. She was out of sync from here to there. And once again, for myself, the way that like Joe had described it in regards to, using the content, and using it and saying love, trying to uplift, but you say, right. I don't get. I think that the song it was supposed to be a spoken word piece. I can tell it's supposed to be a spoken word, but I think that it was probably confusing to people because the title says that it's her song, I guess. Right. But I don't think that overall it's a bad spoken word piece. But there were definitely things that needs to be fixed and altered in that. I say that go back in and maybe retitle it and give it something, another title or something. Right. If it's based upon him, let it be. Maybe his name is Nakia. I don't know. And if it's her song, she definitely needs to be more in the front with her vocals so that people will know that.
Yeah, the concept was dope. Just need more clarity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna go over to another video, and then we thank you for joining us here at the round table, and we will see you back here, same time, same channel, next time. Peace, love.
Woo! From disasters you learn faster or hands-on, and you look weak when you slouching, so I stand strong. I never wanted to live the way I had to live. Plus I'm not into submission, so something has to give. I'm on the road to better speeding, I'm just wasting tires. Sky's the limit, only when you have no faith in higher. So I chase the chicken, making sure that nature's working. Father Time is always busy and Mother Nature's nurturing. I done made it out to a place without that helping hand. They say that I should have never made it when I felt I had to really go through hell to stand. Never begged, I just got up and worked. Didn't have, so I got up and searched. Did the math, man, I had to invert. Risen above, it couldn't be worse. I'm at a point where I don't pay no mind to the negative, it's too minimal. When the hate's around trying to hold you back, just lean forward, smooth criminal. Long nights turn to night again, just trying to make my wrongs right again. So just let it be, it was meant to, cause my mental can't go through that fight again. What they saying?
Some say I should've never made it. I spent them long nights stuck in training. Out in the world, man, them guns be blazing. To set you up for the fall, your soul is taken. Everything that I've been through lies of medicine prescribed for you. Can you listen to me, son? So many unforeseen dangers on the run. See, I never thought I'd see the light of day. If you don't believe in me, look at the price I paid. I never want to take you, live your life this way. Only by the grace of God, you know that I made it out. I've never seen it. I made it out. I made it out. Baby boy, I made it out. I never heard. Said I never meant to leave you by yourself with your mama. Never meant to hurt you and leave you with that trauma. There's so many choices you can make. Don't you go the way that I came. I'm sorry for the pain that I caused. The time that I missed behind bars. Please listen to what I say, or tragedy's on its way. Yeah. See, in the streets, ain't no play. Ain't no mind leaving you in the grave. You're just another number in the cage. For your family's sake, go the other way. You go the other way. This is why Jesus came. Bearing all the heavy burdens, you don't have to point the blame. No, don't point the blame. Forget what the people say. God changed my name like Jacob, I won't be the same. See, I never thought I'd see the light of day. If you don't believe in me, look at the price I paid. I never want to take you, live your life this way. Only by the grace of God, you know that I made it out. I made it out. I made it out.
trying to break it down for that boy at home. He's feeling all alone, trying to sing that song. Whose mama trying to pull him out, he's slinging that dough. Working on them corners, trying to get that dough. Steady complications and Papa came home. Dealing with his ego, you can feel his pain though. Homie got shot by the city po-po. Snitching on the block, they say that's a no-no. Running up the block, running up the block, running up the block. Screaming at the God, screaming at the God, screaming at the God. Feeling like his heart gon' stop any minute. On his knees begging, praying, steady wishing. Hey, somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Pray for me. Have me on in mind and pray for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a great opportunity today to actually give tribute to the film Never Heard, and we were glad to be able to cover that as Ken has opened that door, as the Lord opened it for him. And you see here to my right, your left out there in TV land, none other than the outstanding Ken Hampton.
I thank you for opportunities.
Outstanding, and the Joe Carroll from the cast of The Few.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Pyrex Track.
Always thank you for having me.
The outstanding Mike Flowers.
God bless. God is grateful.
And that new and upcomer, none other than Rome.
Appreciate the time.
We covered an issue today, and the issue was actually entitlement and superconfidence. And I believe that the Lord blessed us to take that to another degree, because we don't want to be deceived or deceive anyone further going into the future as to what superconfidence is and entitlement is. And the thing is that a lot of folks have been raised on the factor that you're showing out, get over there and sit down, stay in a child's place. But we have to do this knowledge and building thing from the cradle to the grave. So the thing is that we must instill superconfidence, knowing the levels of the mind and knowing that the conscious, which is that which is tangible and you can see, feel, and touch, and the subconscious being the greatest force within the realm of the mind, because through the subconscious you can create anything that you wish to create. You can take control of your thoughts and therefore take control of your destiny, and you can have what you want to have, be what you want to be, and do what you want to do. And when you delve a little bit deeper into that right there, you enter into the realm of the super conscious, which brings about that super confidence, saying I am, I can do. And I am is the essence and the actual suffix of God, meaning all, which meaning you as a child's true son or daughter of God is entitled to that same inherent power. You can do whatever God can do, your Father can do, the grand architect of the universe can do, if you are truly his child. So stop being deceived and believing that you cannot. Take that out of your vocabulary. Take can't, don't, won't, and all of those negative entities out. And only believe I will and I can and I shall. And you will be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have what you want to have, and destroy the negativity just through the power and consciousness of positivity. Success awaits us, folks. Keep it coming. See you back here same time, same place next week. JCT TV.